Ta-da! What do you think? What is it? Oh, it's a light up. Watch. That's it? What do you mean that's it? That's all you got for Halloween? Well, I just haven't had that much time to buy more supplies. Oh, this is terrible! How is this terrible? It's a light. But we have nothing for Halloween this year. Oh, man. Well, we're talking about scary movies and stuff. I guess we can talk about Halloween movies as well. You better, because this is sad. This is Movie Mondays. Usually when we think of holiday specials, Christmas is the first one to come to mind, and for good reason. This holiday has tons of movie specials. The other holiday specials we normally think of are then Thanksgiving and Halloween, usually because of the Peanuts cartoons that grace our screens. But there is another series of Halloween specials that have made their way into people's hearts, and no one seems to really know why. The Scary Godmother movies. For those of you that don't know, Scary Godmother is a series of 2 films that began airing in 2004 and have been on television every Halloween since. It's got quirky animation and characters, peculiar writing and puns, and it just screams Halloween. The thing is, when you think about why most people like it, the majority are bound to shrug in confusion. So what is it that makes the Scary Godmother films so charming? The origin of the films began with a series of books and comic books created by artist Jill Thompson as a means of creating something that both children and adults will enjoy. This led to a film adaptation of one of the books through Mainframe Entertainment, and it's been on our television screen since that moment, and then a year later a second one was made based on another one of the books. And that's about as much as I could find out. Even the Wikipedia page on this was pretty scarce. So let's go ahead and look into the film. Animation-wise, it isn't the best quality, but it is certainly unique. The characters are 3-dimensional, but the backgrounds are very 2-dimensional, looking to reflect the story art of the original Scary Godmother books and comics. In fact, the design team was planning on making the whole thing in 2D, but the artist, Jill Thompson, that worked on the first film, told them to move to 3D. So that's why they made that shift, but the backgrounds still feel a bit 2-dimensional to keep that feeling that the original books and comic books have. This causes the 3-dimensional characters to kind of leap out more onto the screen and pop out, and it also shows a style of curls and sharp lines in the background that seem distinctly Halloween. The design of the films are Halloween, but what about the story? The premise of the first movie is 3 older kids lock a young girl into a haunted house. The girl gets frightened, which calls her Scary Godmother, and Scary Godmother leads the girl to the fright side, where she sees all sorts of different Halloween creatures and learns that monsters can be nice and funny and not just scary. Once again, this pretty much screams Halloween everywhere, to the point where the fairy godmother in the story is called a Scary Godmother. The play on words there. There's a lot of that in these films. Also, we have typical Halloween creatures as characters that interact with the girl, including a skeleton, a werewolf, vampires, and a monster that hides under the bed. Specifically under the bed, not in the closet. These characters feel a bit nostalgic, mostly because they are typical creatures that we think of when we think of Halloween. Add in the fact that they are trying to help the girl overcome her fear of monsters, makes them likable, and there are a couple of funny moments in the films as well. The second film follows a similar storyline, this time with the little girl's older cousin, who had locked her in the haunted house in the first movie. In order to not be frightened of monsters, the cousin tries to stop Halloween from happening at all by smashing pumpkins, writing poison and flammable on all the candy and costumes in the store, although logically, this kid would probably be arrested before he got around to every store. But he tries to stop Halloween from happening, and every time that happens, and every time it seems that the little girl and her friends can't have Halloween, the Fright side, where Scary Godmother and friends live, falls apart. In the end, it's up to the little girl and her friends to keep Halloween going and to help the cousins see the fun in Halloween again. Like the first film, this is a bit about getting over a fear of monsters, but it also includes the power of imagination. One doesn't need to buy expensive costumes and candy and Halloween supplies to celebrate Halloween. And since most of our holidays fall into the consumerism trap, this is a great lesson for kids to learn. Maybe the charm of the films don't necessarily come from just the story or the characters or the designs, but from the time the films air as well. Scary Godmother is meant specifically for Halloween. It wouldn't really work during any other time of the year. People watch Scary Godmother on Halloween for the same reason that people watch Rudolph and Santa Claus specials over Christmas. You know the ones I'm talking about, the Rankin Bass ones. Yep, those. It's not because the animation is great quality or because the story is really gripping, but it's more for the fact that these specials just ooze the spirit of the holidays they represent. We can't help but think of Halloween when we see a Scary Godmother film, and therefore we associate the films to that time of year. And that is what gives Scary Godmother its true charm. The unique animation style and the clever characters are what adds to that particular charm, making these films fun to watch over the Halloween season. And that's it for this Movie Monday. As always, if you want to go ahead and see more Movie Mondays, we'll have a link in the description below. And if you want to see other stuff on the Short Puppet Arts channel, we'll have links below for that as well. So Chester, did you learn that you don't necessarily have to buy fancy Halloween designs to celebrate Halloween? Well, yeah, but it would still be fun to have them. You know what? Here. Caution tape! It's the little things.